Welcome to the Straight to Jail podcast, written and produced by Brian Herring. Chapter 15, A New Lead. The tension in the safe house hung thick like cigarette smoke, the weight of their next move pressing down on all three of them. Johnny sat at the table, laptop open, as the USB drive loaded onto the screen. Kyle sprawled across the bed like he didn't have a care in the world, though the nervous tapping of his foot betrayed him. Tony leaned over Johnny's shoulder, uncomfortably close, chewing on a toothpick and watching the screen like he expected it to explode.
This better not be porn,
said Kyle, staring at the screen from his perch. Tony snorted.
If it is, it's the most expensive porn stash in the city.
Johnny shot them both a look.
Shut up. I need to focus.
The screen blinked to life, revealing a folder labeled Accounts and another one labeled Blackmail. Johnny clicked on the second one first.
Always go for the juicy stuff,
Tony said, grinning like a kid waiting for candy. Johnny ignored him as the folder opened, revealing a list of video files, scanned documents, and incriminating photos. He scrolled down, his expression hardening with every name he recognized. There were politicians, business tycoons, cops, people with power, people who weren't supposed to be on a list like this. Kyle whistled low.
Jesus, Johnny. It's like a who's who of the city's dirtiest players.
They've got their claws everywhere,
Johnny said, low and thoughtful. He clicked on a random video file. The grainy footage showed a man in a tailored suit handing an envelope to someone in an alley. The camera zoomed in, and Kyle let out a low laugh.
Hey, ain't that Councilman Harris? I voted for that asshole.
Tony barked out a laugh, slapping Kyle on the leg.
Serves you right for believing in politicians.
Johnny cut them off, his tone sharp.
Will you two pay attention? This is bigger than we thought. Whoever runs this operation isn't just making money, they're controlling people. Leveraging blackmail to keep the city in their pocket.
Tony straightened up, his tone losing its humor.
Damn, man. If we leak this shit, Chicago's completely compromised. We could be looking at riots, assassinations, hell, maybe even a damn coup.
So we don't leak it.
Johnny said, his voice calm but deliberate.
Not yet. This is our leverage, and we use it to find out who's at the top of this mess. Someone's pulling the strings, and I want their name.
So where do we start?
Kyle asked, sitting up. Johnny scrolled back to the folder labeled Accounts and clicked it. The screen filled with spreadsheets, numbers, and offshore bank records. Most of the entries were gibberish at first glance, but Johnny spotted one name repeated several times. T. Ramirez Holdings.
Ramirez?
Kyle frowned.
Never heard of him.
Tony's expression darkened.
I have. Tomas Ramirez, low profile, high stakes. He's one of those guys that doesn't like his face on the news, but everyone in the underworld knows his name. He's got his hands in everything. Guns, drugs, politics, you name it. If he's on that list, he's not just some middleman. He's a major kingpin.
Johnny's eyes narrowed.
Then I present to you our next target.
Kyle laughed dryly.
Oh yeah, sure. Let's just go knocking on the door of one of the city's biggest players. That'll end real nicely for us.
Johnny ignored him, his focus sharp.
Tony, do you know anything about where Ramirez operates? Headquarters, warehouses, anything?
Tony rubbed his jaw, thinking.
He's careful, but word on the street is he's been holed up at a high-rise downtown, a fancy penthouse near the financial district. The place is locked down tighter than a bank vault. He won't leave unless it's for something big.
Then we're just gonna have to find a way in.
Johnny stated simply. Kyle looked at Johnny like he was insane.
You want to waltz into a penthouse guarded by God knows how many mercenaries? You're outta your mind.
Johnny shot him a cold glare.
Does anyone have a better idea? Because Ramirez is the closest thing we've got to the top of this food chain. If we get to him, we get our answers.
Tony grinned, stepping back toward the wall.
You're lucky I like crazy ideas. I might know a guy who can help get us into that building, but it ain't gonna be pretty. Ramirez doesn't play games.
I don't think we're gonna need Kyle around for this one.
We don't play games either,
Johnny said. He grabbed the burner phone from the lockbox and set it down in front of them.
Kyle, you stay here and keep an eye on this shit. Make sure nobody tracks us back to it. Tony, you're coming with me. We're gonna pay your contact a visit.
Kyle groaned and flopped back on the bed.
Why do I gotta babysit? This place smells like buttholes and broken dreams.
Because you're the loudest liability.
Johnny shot back.
And I don't trust you to keep quiet when we need you to.
Tony chuckled as he grabbed his jacket.
He's got a point, man. You're about as subtle as a brick to the face.
Kyle flipped them both off without sitting up.
Fine. But if I find out you're hitting up some taco stand instead of doing real work, I'm charging you assholes for my time.
Johnny ignored him and nodded to Tony.
Let's move.
An hour later, Johnny and Tony sat in a darkened booth at an all-night diner on the edge of town, waiting for Tony's contact. The place smelled like grease and burnt coffee, the kind of place where secrets traded hands over plates of pancakes.
Your guy better show,
said Johnny, sipping on a glass of iced tea.
Relax, he'll show.
Tony replied, picking at a plate of fries.
Eddie's twitchy, but he knows his shit.
What the fuck? Twitchy?
Johnny raised an eyebrow.
What does that mean? It doesn't sound reliable.
Before Tony could respond, a man slid into the booth across from them. He was twitchy, with darting eyes and a nervous energy that made him look like he might bolt at any second.
Tony, what is this? Why am I here?
Tony said smoothly.
We need info on Ramirez's penthouse. You're the guy who knows the ins and out.
Eddie's eyes widened.
Ramirez? Shit, man, you don't mess with him. Fuck. This is bullshit. I knew something was up. That place is a fortress. I don't think you've got the right guy. I don't want to be a part of this.
Johnny leaned in, his tone cold and measured.
We're not asking you to walk us through the front door. We just need blueprints, security schedules, or anything that'll help us get in.
Eddie hesitated, shifting nervously.
Fucking shitballs. That's gonna cost you. I ain't sticking my neck out for this, Tony. You know how Ramirez deals with rats. He doesn't just kill you, he makes sure nobody ever finds what's left of their fucking corpses.
Tony leaned back, smirking.
Eddie, you and I both know you're already halfway in the grave with all the shit you owe people. I'm offering you a chance to come out ahead. There's a cut in this for you for your help. How about a brick of cocaine for your troubles?
Johnny slid an envelope across the table. Eddie's darting eyes froze on it, his fingers twitching. He grabbed the envelope, thumbed through the stack of bills, and let out a shaky breath.
Fine.
Eddie says, tucking the cash into his jacket.
But I'm telling you now, you guys are playing with fire. Ramirez's penthouse is locked down. Cameras, guards, reinforced doors. That place is wired up tighter than Fort Knox.
Blueprints.
Johnny said firmly, eyes locked on Eddie.
And whatever security details you can get us. We're gonna handle the rest.
Eddie exhaled sharply and pulled a crumpled piece of paper out his pocket and slid it across the table. Johnny looked down and seen his contact information written in writing that was barely legible. Email, phone number, and address.
Here's my card. Contact me and I'll email you floor plans, emergency exits, and a guard rotation. You didn't get it from me, all right?
Johnny rolled his eyes and fought back a smirk. Tony picked up the paper and grinned.
Pleasure doing business with you, Mr. Ed. You're a real American hero.
Eddie shot Tony a glare.
Don't push it, man. If Ramirez finds out you're both coming for him, you'll wish you were never born. Please, leave my name out when you're being tortured.
Eddie slid out of the booth and shuffled off into the night, leaving Johnny and Tony staring at the crumpled piece of paper on the table.
He's right, you know,
Johnny said quietly, half to himself and Tony sitting across from him. His head lulled a bit.
This isn't just some gang bust. Ramirez isn't gonna roll over very easy.
Tony shrugged, tucking the paper into his pocket.
Good. The thrill gives me goosebumps.
Johnny frowned, staring at the dark parking lot outside.
We're not doing this for fun. We're doing this to put an end to all of it, once and for all.
Tony nodded, his grin fading slightly.
Yeah, I get it. You need it out. Now let's get back to Kyle. We've got a lot of work ahead of us.
Johnny stood, sliding a few bills onto the table before leading Tony out into the cold night. The stakes were higher than ever now, and there was no room for error. They were going after a kingpin, and if they failed, they wouldn't live long enough to regret it.